morning all of you. This is for class 11 subject biology chapter 10 cell cycle and cell division, and this is lecture number 2 of this chapter. In this lecture we will discuss about stages of mitosis and significance of mitosis. Let's start with general introduction of mitosis. Mitosis is the cell division occurring in somatic cells. So in our body, two types of cells are present, somatic cells and germ cells. Germ cells are the cells by which gamete formation occur, okay? And all the other cells, other than those gamete forming cells, all other cells are somatic cells. So this mitosis division occur in our somatic cells. It is also called equational division because the number of chromosomes remain same in parent cell and progeny cell. So two daughter cells are formed from one cell and the number of chromosome is same in those daughter cells also. So that's why it is equational division. Mitosis is generally seen in diploid cells. In our cells, mitosis occur in our diploid cell, like having 2n condition, okay? But in case of some lower plants like in algae and in some social insects, haploid cells also shows mitosis division. Mitosis involves major reorganization of all cell components. All the components of cell which are present in the cytoplasm, all the cell organelles, nuclear membrane, all these components of the cell show a reorganization during mitosis division. As you know that during cell division two events occur, karyokinesis and cytokinesis, right? So these are four stages of karyokinesis of mitosis, okay? During means for the division of nucleus. It occurs in 4 stages. After division of nucleus, we will also discuss about the cytokinesis, means division of cytoplasm. But here we are discussing about karyokinesis. So these are 4 stages for the karyokinesis: prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase. So we will do about prophase first. Prophase is the longest phase in mitosis. It follows the S and G2 phases of interphase. You have studied about interphase and the subphases of interphase. Those are S, G1, S and G2 phases. Okay, so after G2 phase, mitosis occur. The division of cell occur. Okay, G2 is the second growth phase. So we can say it follows S and G2 phases of interphase. In the S and G2 phases, DNA molecules are intertwined. So this is the condition during starting of prophase, okay? During the interphase means like you can say during the G1, S and G2. During these phases, what is there inside the nucleus? DNA is in intertwined form, okay? Thread-like structures are present in inside the nucleus. So intertwined form of DNA molecules is present inside the nucleus in interphase during all these stages, G1, G2 and S, okay? And then during the prophase, this is condition during early prophase, the condensation of this genetic material start, okay? Means these thread-like structure which are present for the genetic material which are intertwined, these will start condensation to form the chromosomes, to take a particular shape. Now these are the characteristic events which occur during prophase of mitosis. So first, chromosomal materials, that is called chromatin fibers, okay? During the interphase stage, we say that chromatin fibers are present inside the nucleus, right? So we are saying these chromatin fibers. These chromatin fibers are actually the material for the formation of chromosome. So these chromatin fibers are untangled and condensed to form mitotic chromosomes, right? Because these were in tangled form in interphase stage, now this will be untangled and will be condensed to take the shape of chromosome. They are seen to be composed of 2 chromatids because chromosomes are made up of 2 chromatids, 2 arms like structures are present here, okay? So these chromosomes appear to be formed of two chromatids which are attached together at the centromere. As in the chapter cell, you have done about the structure of chromosome, and you know that two chromatids are present in the chromosome which are attached at centromere. Now centrosomes begin to move towards opposite pole of the cell. Centrosome is the structure which is very useful for the cell division. Okay, so what happened here? Centrosome start moving towards the opposite pole. Okay, this centrosome is the structure having two centrioles. Okay, where the two centrioles which are at the 90 degree of each other, okay, which are placed, so that those centrioles you can say, that is called centrosome. These will begin to move towards the opposite poles of the cell. Each centrosome radiates out microtubules called esters. What are these microtubules? A kind of protein you can say. And the two esters together with spindle fibers forms mitotic apparatus. Now you can see here, this is the diagram for late prophase stage. Cells at the end of prophase do not show Golgi complex, endoplasmic reticulum, nucleolus and nuclear envelope. All these will disappear during the prophase. At the end of prophase, these will not be present in a cell. Okay, so during the prophase you can say that what will be the events: the disappearance of the nuclear membrane, disappearance of the nucleolus and disappearance of other important cell organelles like Golgi complex and endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, all these will get absent at the end of prophase. And this is the diagram for the late prophase stage. Here you can see this is the complete cell. Okay, and this yellow colored ruptured membrane you can see, this is nuclear membrane. So it get ruptured. It start disappearing at the starting of prophase, and till the end of prophase it get disappear completely. And inside the nucleus, nucleolus is present, and the nucleolus also get disappear. So there is no nucleolus inside the nucleus, and also in the cytoplasm Golgi complex and endoplasmic reticulum got disappear. Now after prophase, the next stage that will start is metaphase. And in metaphase stage, the nuclear envelope completely disintegrates in the starting of metaphase you can say. Okay, hence the chromosomes spread through the cytoplasm of cell, right? At the end of prophase or in the starting of metaphase you can say nuclear envelope is completely disintegrates. That's why the inside the nucleus, you know, chromosomes are present. So those chromosomes will come in cytoplasm, and chromosome condensation is completed here. Okay, during the prophase what was happening? The condensation of chromosomes started at the starting of prophase. Okay, until the end of prophase that condensation continues. And here at the starting of metaphase that chromosome condensation is completed now, right? They can be studied easily under the microscope. So metaphase is the stage at which we can easily study the structure of chromosome, because the fully condensed chromosomes have been formed till this stage. Now these chromosomes will have two sister chromatids, as you know the structure. So these two sister chromatids of chromosomes have been formed till the metaphase stage. Chromosomes move to lie at the equator of cell. Okay, the plane of alignment of the chromosome at the metaphase is called metaphase plate, because these chromosomes have been arranged at the equator, and the plane that will be formed due to alignment of those chromosomes, that will be called metaphase plate. The spindle fibers from both poles, from where these spindle fibers have been arised, from the centrioles. Okay, where in prophase stage we were talking about these. The spindle fibers arise from the centrioles. Okay, so spindle fibers from both poles, and centrioles are present on both poles of the cell. So these spindle fibers connected to chromatids by the kinetochores. Kinetochore is the site of attachment of spindle fibers on the chromosome. About this you have studied in the chapter cell, in the structure of chromosome. Like centromere is present, and on centromere disc-like structure called kinetochore is present, to which spindle fibers get attached. Right. So after this is the diagram for transition to metaphase. Means how a cell from prophase enter into metaphase. Okay, so you can say this is the end of prophase and the starting of metaphase. So here you can see these centrosome at opposite poles. This centrosome, you can see this is not exactly at the pole. These are the poles of cell, this one and this one. Okay, so this one has reached to the pole, but this is moving towards the pole. Okay, so we discussed about it in the prophase that centrosome start moving towards the opposite pole. So it is moving towards the opposite pole. Okay, and you can see this structure here in this centrosome. These two centrioles which are placed at 90 degree of each other, right? And here in the metaphase stage you can see these are exactly at the poles. Okay, because in the metaphase stage these have been reached at the poles. Okay, and here these are moving towards the pole. Now you can see these rays arising from these centrosome, like here and here also. All these rays, these are called astral rays. Okay, and these structure, these red colored thread like structure you can see here, which are attached with the chromosome, these are spindle fibers. Okay, these are spindle fibers arising from the centrioles, right? So this complete structure having the centrosome, astral rays and the spindle fibers arising from that, this is called spindle apparatus. Okay, now you can see these spindle fibers are rising from the centrosome or centriole. These are attached here with the chromosomes. Okay, and this is the area of chromosome called kinetochore, where these spindle fibers are attached with these. Okay, now this is a transition state, and here you can see this is metaphase stage. So what happened at the end of prophase? These chromosomes start aligning towards the equator. This is the equator line of the cell. Okay, so these will start aligning themselves at the equator, and this is the stage metaphase, where you can see all the chromosomes are arranged at equator. Okay, in this plane like this. So this structure is called metaphase plate. This is called metaphase plate, as you can see here in this diagram. This is also for metaphase. Okay, and all these spindle fibers you can see, these are attached with the chromosome, with the kinetochore part of the chromosome, right? So this is metaphase stage, and in this diagram you can see how clearly you can see the chromosomes, like two sister chromatids are present in each chromosome. So this is the stage at which morphology of chromosome is studied. Okay, these are most clearly visible under the microscope. After metaphase stage, next stage of mitosis is anaphase, and it is the shortest phase in the mitosis, right? Prophase is the longest stage and anaphase is the shortest phase. Centromere of each chromosome divides longitudinally, resulting in the formation of two daughter chromatids. So what happened here? As you have seen in the metaphase, all the chromosomes were arranged here at the metaphase at the equator, okay, forming a metaphase plate, and spindle fibers were attached with the sister chromatid with the kinetochore, right? So in anaphase, what will happen when these spindle fibers will pull these sister chromatids towards the opposite pole, right? Then what will happen? Centromere will split, Okay, centromere is the position where the sister chromatids are attached with each other. Okay, so that centromere splits and the sister chromatids will move towards the opposite poles, as you can see here. From one chromosome, two parts will be formed and will go towards the opposite poles, right? So it occurred due to splitting of centromere and the detachment of the sister chromatids, right? So it divides longitudinally, resulting in the formation of two chromatids, two daughter chromatids, you can say, and the chromosomes of the future daughter nuclei. So these are the chromosomes, these are the chromosome of future daughter nuclei. As the spindle fibers contract, the chromatids move from the equator to opposite poles. So first of all, this splitting will occur, and when the spindle fibers will contract, then obviously these will go towards the opposite poles. After anaphase, next stage is telophase, and here chromosomes cluster at opposite poles, because during anaphase those were going towards the opposite pole. Now these chromosomes reached to the opposite poles and will cluster there and uncoil into chromatin fiber. So just see here, this is just opposite of the prophase. Okay, in the prophase stage, you know that chromatin fibers condensation started, okay, and chromosomes were formed. But here what is happening? Again the chromosomes uncoil and chromatin fibers are formed. Okay, decondensation, again the that condensation will be failed here. Okay, and again the chromosomes will form the chromatin material, chromatin fibers, which were present during the interphase stage. Like that structure will be formed here again. Okay, so telophase is just opposite to that of prophase. If you learn the events which occur during the prophase, you can do the events of telophase also, just opposite of that. Okay, so first thing is that here the chromatin fibers are formed again from the chromosomes due to decondensation of the chromosome. Next thing, nuclear envelope assembles around the chromatin fibers. You know, in the prophase what happened? Nuclear envelope disintegrated. But here again, this nuclear envelope assembles. Okay, it will again form. You can see here, like chromosomes have reached two opposite poles during the anaphase. Okay. Now, at the end till the end of anaphase, these have reached towards the opposite poles, right? Now, inside this nuclear membrane, you can see here, no chromosomes are visible because these have been converted into chromatin fibers again, right? That's why no chromosomes are visible here. After that, one more change, what is happening? You can see this yellow colored membrane here. What is this? Here also, this yellow colored membrane is nuclear membrane, which had been disappeared during the prophase till the end of prophase. Okay, but here it again reappear. So it this nuclear envelope assembles in telophase. Thus, two daughter nuclei are formed. So obviously you can see here, these two daughter nuclei have been formed on opposite poles. And one more thing that occurred during the prophase was disappearance of the nucleolus, Golgi complex and endoplasmic reticulum. So it will also be like opposite. So these will also reappear during telophase. Okay. And next is the spindle fibers disappear. So spindle fibers were formed during prophase. Till the end of prophase, those were appeared. And here these will disappear. So you can see disappearance of spindle fibers. No spindle fiber is seen here which is attached with any chromosome, because no chromosomes are there. So what is the need of spindle fibers here? Okay, so no spindle fibers are present here in telophase. So these are the changes. So up to telophase stage, we can say that nucleus has been divided, right? The karyokinesis has occurred in a cell. Now what will happen after karyokinesis? cytokinesis, right? Means division of cytoplasm will occur now after the division of nucleus. So, cytokinesis is the division of cytoplasm resulting in the formation of two daughter cells. And it starts when telophase is in progress. So it doesn't mean that after the complete telophase the cytokinesis will start. When the telophase is going on, the cytokinesis will also start simultaneously, right? And after the completion of telophase, the cytokinesis will also be completed. So you can see here, telophase is going on here. As you can see, these chromosome, the decondensation is going on, but the complete chromatin material has not been formed here. The complete decondensation has not occurred here. It means the telophase is going on here. Okay, that is not complete yet. And here you can see these thread-like structure tangled with each other. These are chromatin fibers which have been formed from the decondensation of these chromosomes which are present here. Okay, so this is completion of telophase here, right? And now let's talk about cytokinesis. So what is happening here? You can see this cleavage furrow has been formed here. Okay, and finally it will deepen and will divide the cells into two, this complete cell into two daughter cells. So you can see here these two cells have been formed, okay, and the cytoplasm and all the organelles which are present in cytoplasm will be divided here in two daughter cells. Now let's see what is the difference in cytokinesis of animal and plant cells. So how cytokinesis occur in animal cell? Let's see that first. So in animal cell, a cleavage furrow is appeared in plasma membrane. So, as you can see, this is the telophase stage going on in a cell. Then what happens? Suddenly a plasma membrane, this is the plasma membrane, so a cleavage furrow, this is the cleavage furrow which appear in plasma membrane, okay. Then it gradually deepens, as you can see here, it will deepen like this, okay, it is deepening like this. So it gradually deepens and joins in the center. When it will join in the center, then obviously the cytoplasm will divide, okay, and two daughter cells will be formed like this. So this is the method by which animal cells cytokinesis occur, simply by cleavage formation, right? Now cytokinesis in plant cells, how it occurs? So it is different from cytokinesis in animal cells due to the presence of cell wall. As you know, in animal cells cell wall is absent, but in plant cells it is present. That's why cytokinesis is also different, okay. In plant cells, the vesicles formed from Golgi bodies accumulate at the equator. So this is the equator of a plant cell, and you can see these are vesicles which are arranged at equator, okay. So what happened? Golgi body forms some vesicle like structure, and these vesicles will start accumulating at the center of cell, at the equator of cell. So you can see these are the peripheral side, this one and this one, these are the peripheral side, and this is center, okay. So if we talk about the equator also, at which position of equator these vesicles start accumulating? These start accumulating at the center. So this is the one difference you can see here. The cleavage furrow in case of animal cell was started at the periphery, okay, but here this process is starting from the center, okay. So these vesicles get accumulated at the equator. It grows towards and meet the lateral walls. As you can see here, it is growing towards the lateral walls. They fuse together to form the cell plate, and finally what will happen? You can see here, these will join together, these vesicles will join together, and a complete plate like structure which is called cell plate is formed here. And this cell plate separates the two daughter cells. Later the cell plate becomes the middle lamella. So you know about middle lamella which is present between these cells. So finally what happened? This cell plate will divide this complete plant cell into two daughter cells. So this is how cytokinesis in plant cell occur, by vesicle formation. Now, one more important thing about cytokinesis is, during cytokinesis, organelles like mitochondria and plastids, all these are present in the cytoplasm. So if in cytokinesis, cytoplasm division is occurring, and during that division these organelles will also get distributed between the daughter cells, right? In some organisms, karyokinesis is not followed by cytokinesis, means only karyokinesis occurs, but just after the karyokinesis, cytokinesis is not occurring in those organisms. As a result, what will happen? Multinucleate condition will be there, like within cell many nuclei will be formed, right? If only nucleus is dividing but cytoplasm is not dividing, then what will happen? Many nuclei will be formed within one cell, and that condition is called syncytium condition. For example, liquid endosperm in coconut, the coconut water that you drink, that is a kind of free nuclei. In that water all the free nuclei are present, okay, and that is called liquid endosperm. Okay, within one cell multinucleate condition is present there in coconut, and that's why that is very nutritious. Now today's last topic is significance of mitosis. So mitosis produces diploid daughter cells with identical genome. As you have seen, two daughter cells are formed, and it is equational division. So identical genome, the same number of chromosomes are present here. Second thing, it helps to retain the same chromosome number in all somatic cells. Third, it helps in body growth of multicellular organism, because it is the division which is occurring in our cells for the growth. Okay, mitosis in the meristematic tissue, in case of plants you can say, help in continuous growth of plants throughout the life. Next, it restores the nucleocytoplasmic ratio that disturbed due to cell growth. When cell growth occur, then what happens? Cytoplasm content increases, but nucleus is only one. Okay, that's why nucleocytoplasmic ratio get disturbed, and to maintain that ratio, to restore that ratio, mitosis division is very important. Next thing, it helps in cell repair. If any body tissue get damaged, then it helps in repair. Like the cells which are responsible for the repair are undergoing mitosis division. Okay, so it helps in repair and replacement. For example, cells of upper layer of epidermis, always in which cells the mitosis division is occurring. Okay, also the lining of gut and blood cells, these are undergoing mitosis division. Now your today's homework is to practice all the diagrams of mitosis stages and NCERT question number 5, 8, 14 and 15. Now let's discuss homework solution of previous lecture, and this is question number 1 of NCERT. So average lifespan of mammalian cell is 24 hours. And then this is answer for question number 2 of NCERT, differentiate cytokinesis and karyokinesis. So cytokinesis is division of cytoplasm and karyokinesis is division of nucleus. Okay, so in karyokinesis, the separation of daughter chromosomes corresponding to M phase of cell cycle. Okay, if division of nucleus we are saying, then obviously during the division of nucleus chromosome separation occur, right? But in cytokinesis, cytoplasm division occur. Now this is next question of NCERT. Describe the events taking place during interphase. So G1, S phase and G2 phase. These are the phases and these are the events which occur during interphase. During G1 phase, metabolically cell is active and many proteins are synthesized which are required for the DNA replication. Okay. During synthetic phase, synthesis of DNA, or you can say replication of DNA takes place. Also centriole duplication takes place during synthetic phase, and you can say the quantity of DNA doubles and the number of chromosome remains same during this phase. During G2 phase also, cell is growing in size and also some proteins, RNA, these are formed during G2 phase. Then next question is, what is G0 or quiescent phase of cell cycle? So in adult animals, some cells will not exhibit cell division and many other cells occasionally divide when there is need to replace cells and have lost because of injury or cell death, right? These cells exit G1 phase to enter inactive stage of cell cycle and that is called G0 phase. Cells in G0 phase does not proliferate unless called on to do so. Called on to do so means until they did not get any signal like damage. Okay, hence the cells in this phase tend to become inactive, stop dividing and become specialized through the differentiation process. Differentiation process means cells attain a particular shape and particular function and stop dividing.